Hey guys, my name's Kevin. I'm going to do your Big Ten power rankings. This is my first time on YouTube, so please cut me some slack, give me your opinions, help me out a little bit here. Alright, Big Ten. First team on my Big Ten power ranks is Ohio State. I thought I put them number one. They're the only team that played outside competition pretty good. Miami. ACC is not that hot this year, but I think Ja'Cory Harris was slowed down completely by the Ohio State defense, and I think Ohio State's defense is really, really good. I'm really impressed by them. I think their offense is a little bit slow. I think they definitely could do a lot better. Against Illinois, they only put up 24 points, and that's definitely not going to cut it against a lot of Big Ten teams, such as Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, teams that are putting up 40 points a game. Second on my Big Ten power rankings is Michigan State. They are the complete package. They have Kirk Cousins at quarterback, a veteran who's leading his team very well. The defense is there. They slowed down John Clay in Wisconsin. Very impressive. Their defense gave up obviously 20 points to Wisconsin, but I'm saying, Wisconsin's a fantastic team, and the fact that Michigan State could slow them down that well, beat them, scored almost 30 points on offense, they're impressive. I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan State ends up possibly even beating Michigan and Ohio State. Third is Wisconsin. Yes, they lost to Michigan State, but they lost by a couple points. John Clay is the running back in the Big Ten division. He is phenomenal. He led that Wisconsin team. Plus, they have a decent defense to help him out. I think Wisconsin's definitely going to be up towards. I think they'll be in the top 15 by the end of the season. Next, I have Michigan. Michigan, their defense is terrible. I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm a Michigan fan. I watch every one of their games. Their defense is horrendous. Their pass defense is awful. But they have Denard Robinson. When you're putting up 40, 45 points a game, you're going to be in the top 5 in power rankings no matter how you cut it. Sorry, people who hate Denard Robinson in Michigan, but that kid is impressive. He's fun. The ball's starting to get spread out in Michigan. They possibly have the best offensive line in the Big Ten. And Roy Roundtree and Junior Hemingway are becoming true wide receivers for the Michigan team. Watch them. Watch the passing game in Michigan. It's going to get better. Next on my Big Ten power rankings is Iowa. Iowa has Ricky Stanzi at quarterback. He is a very good quarterback. Their defense is there. Everything's there for Iowa. I think they have a very good chance to hang around in there, upset some big teams. Watch Iowa to make a big difference in the Big Ten at some point. Northwestern is my next team. Yes, surprising, but they have Dan Purse at quarterback. Best QB rating, leads the league in passing. Northwestern, they're undefeated this season. They're a good team. I think that they could end up being a major factor by the end of the season. I think they'll end up slowing down at some point. They're not the best team, but I think it's very possible that they end up upsetting a couple teams. Maybe Michigan, Ohio State. Never know. Next up's Indiana. Ben Chappell, very good quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually gets drafted in the upcoming draft. Good pocket presence, very good awareness. He had one bad throw against Michigan, which really turned the game around. Very good quarterback. Otherwise, he leads the league in passing. I'm just very impressed with the Indiana team. Their defense lasts in the league in almost every category, but I think when your offense can score you 40 points, they have probably the best wide receiving corps in the Big Ten. Watch Indiana. They're an upset waiting to happen. Next is Penn State. I'm not too thrilled with Penn State. I think that they definitely could be better if they gave the ball to Evan Royster, which they won't do. Evan Royster should even have more rushing yards than John Clay, but that's Penn State for you. They've won all three. Their 3 games they won were at home. The other 2 were away games. Penn State's strong at home. They should keep winning home games. The only home game they might lose this year might be to Michigan. Denard Robinson's been going to places and just running the ball all over. Watch Penn State, though. They could upset a big-name team. Next up's Purdue. Boilermakers had the most sacks on defense. They have a very impressive team. Watch them make a major impact. Next up is Illinois. Illinois, they have LaShore at running back, very impressive kid. I wouldn't be surprised if Illinois upset a team at some point too. The Big Ten is known to be an upset central team. You're going to have a team get upset eventually. Ohio State got a scare from Illinois. Watch other teams too. Lastly is Minnesota, having a very rough year this year, but they almost beat Northwestern. They're a solid team. They have a good wide receiver in Gray. Watch what they do. I'm not going to say they're an upset waiting to happen because I don't think they're going to do too good this year, but nonetheless, they're the last on my Big Ten power rankings. Statistically, QB rating wise, you got Dan Persa, Denard Robinson, Ricky Stanzi, Ben Chappell, and Kirk Cousins leading it out. All top quarterbacks for their teams. And then rushing yards wise, you got Robinson, Clay, Baker, Robinson, LaShore. The two Robinson of Michigan leading, obviously. Robinson of Iowa. Robinson, obviously Denard Robinson, I'm going to say he's the Heisman candidate, probably the only one. He is the only player by week 5 to have over 1,000 passing yards and 900 rushing yards. He's very impressive. Watch him to make a big difference. Receiving, you got Elbert out of Northwestern. That's Purcell's go-to guy. Belcher in Indiana. That is Ben Chappell's go-to guy. And then you got Sazenbacher. We all know about him. I'm going to say he ends up being a top 15 pick in the draft this coming year. Then you got Roy Roundtree and Gray rounding out the receiving corps at the top. You're talking about Big Ten's. All the teams are up and down. I'm going to say the teams to watch this coming week are going to be Michigan playing Michigan State. Winner of that game, it's going to be interesting. If Michigan can squeak it out at home, I'm going to say Michigan State probably still has the edge. I think home field advantage is going to be a big play in this. I think it's going to be tough for Michigan State to come into Michigan and beat them. Michigan gave Michigan State a scare last year. Watch this game. I'm going to say it's interesting. That's about it, guys. If anyone watching this video, fan of the ACC, SEC, you want me to do a power ranking on them, let me know. I'm going to be doing Big Ten power rankings weekly for all the Big Ten fans. Everybody, over and out.